proceed, okay? Of course, the address, the location, the condition. I might look at comps real quick, but I gotta then determine what kind of seller finance transaction that we're gonna do, okay? So in this case, let's assume that we're gonna do a contract for deed because that's what we do 90+% of the time, okay? So from there, right, based on that information, I'm gonna come up with the purchase price, the down payment, the interest rate, how long we're going to go, and then I need to figure out what the yearly taxes and insurance are for the property, and I'm going to pad them. I'm going to cushion them a little bit, okay? So then from there, once I have that information, I'm going to put that into an amortization schedule or a mortgage calculator to then determine, right, the monthly payment, which would include the principal and the interest for their mortgage, right? Because it's, in essence, a private mortgage. It's an installment agreement. And then once we factor in the escrow for the taxes and the insurance, we come up with the monthly payment, the full monthly payment, which includes the principal, the interest, the taxes, and the insurance. And the idea, right, where we've seen the most success is when we come up with that final figure, the monthly payment, the PITI, it's close to what market rent would be for that type of single family home investment in that location with that type of condition. You feel me? Right. So one other thing that I'll mention here before I go, one of the biggest things that I have noticed over the last handful of years when I'm going back with the seller, because I got to do a lot of prep work and a lot of negotiation with the seller, checking on the property, getting pictures, all that sort of thing before we could really blast it out there, right? So that way I know what I'm selling. I know what I'm pushing. I know how to push it, right? One of the biggest things that I noticed, and it happened earlier today, I get pushback with the down payment, okay? And I told Mr. Investor, I said, look, it's not so much about what I want. It's not necessarily what you want. It's not about that. It's about the buyers. It's about what the market will bear. It's about what has worked well for us. Of course, there's exceptions. Yeah, we've gotten lucky. We've hit a few out of the park. We've had some flukes, but that's not what we were shooting for. We just happened to shoot for a reasonable down payment and a monthly payment that was affordable. And then the buyers came along and offered more. Then we lucked out. Okay, so I hope this makes sense. Tap in, yo, for the tired landlords, for those house flippers that are exhausted. You're looking how to continue